To Nevertheless Commentaries. I am your host, Siponto of Sipon Sport, your favorite ang on the net. The time right now is 1800 hours, that's 6 o'clock in the evening, 25 of January 2026. Now, today we are doing 40 languages, 40 cultures, and 40 days. Today is day 8, we're doing the Majapahit. So we are on the east, Southeast Asia. So we are actually going to be there for some times now, and we've been there for a minute. We've done a number of languages as far as the Southeast Asia is concerned, and also this one comes from the Southeast Asia, and I think this is the last one for now. We will move over to the other parts of the world, but we will actually close this segment of the Asia with the Majapahit. So we will check out the etymology, we'll check out the historiography, we'll check out the history, culture, the economy, administration, military, exploration and navigation, the relegation and regional powers, and also the legacy, list of rules, family tree, and the Majapahit in the popular culture. Now, without further ado, let's get right to it. Majapahit, Javanese, Romanized, Majapahit, Javanese pronunciation. This is the Eastern and Central dialect. Majapahit. Western dialect of Sanskrit. Romanized Majapahit, also known as Wilvatikta or Vilvatikta, depending on the languages you speak. At Gamda, what's good? Gamda, welcome bro. It's day 8. We are doing the Majapahit. Now, Sanskrit Romanized Vilvatikta was a Javanese Hindu Buddhist thalassocratic empire in the Southeast Asia based on the island of Java in the modern day Indonesia. At its greatest extent, it's following significant military expansion. The territory of the empire and its tributary states covered almost the entire Nusantara archipelago, spanning both Asia and Oceania. After a civil war that weakened control over the vassal states, the empire slowly declined before collapsing in 1527 due to an invasion by the Sultanate of Denmark. The fall of the Majapahit saw the rise of the Islamic kingdom in Java. Now, what were the Sultanate of Denmark? These are the niggas that actually invaded the Majapahit. Now, the Denmark Sultanate was a Javanese Muslim state located in Java North Coast in Indonesia at the site of the present-day city of Demak, a port fief of the Hindu Buddhist Majapahit kingdom thought to have. Okay, I lost my thing here. Okay, the Hindu Buddhist Majapahit kingdom thought to have been founded in the last quarter of the 15th century. It was influenced by the Islam brought, and it's actually covered this entire thing because it's very, very important, because it's touching now what we've covered already, the Arabic, and they are having an influence in Indonesia. You need to think how far Indonesia is from the known Arab languages. Buyisile Mazibugo. We are unjano Mazibugo. We are pila Mazibugo. Now, the Demak Sultanate was a Javanese Muslim state located in Java north of Indonesia. At the site present day called Demak, a port fief of the Hindu Buddhist Majapahit kingdom thought to have been founded in the last quarter of the 15th century. It was influenced by Islam brought by Muslim traders from China, Gujarat, Arabia, and also the Islamic kingdom in the region, such as the Samudra Pasai, the Malacca, the Bani Muslim Champa. The Sultanate was the first Muslim state in Java and once dominated most of the northern coast of Java and southern Sumatra. Now, although it lasted only a little more than a century, The Sultanate played an important role in the establishment of Islam in Indonesia, especially on Java and in neighboring areas. Now, also here we are seeing the influence of the Islamic states or the Arabic language make its way to all the way to the South Asia in Indonesia. Wow, you really do some research. We try. It's Gamda. Lily, what's good, Lily? It's been a minute since I've seen you. Now, the etymology of Demak was a settlement named the Gagla Wangi, according to the tradition of the first person that a Red Panther encountered in the Gagla or in the Glaka Wandi was a woman named Nyai Lemba. That sounds African. From the Rawa Pening, Nyai Lemba invited a Red Panther to settle in Glaka Wangi, which later was renamed as Demak Bintara. There was a several suggestions in the name Demak according to the Indonesian history or Indonesian historian Poepat Karaka. Is derived from the Japanese term Telemak, which means watery soil or swamp according to the Hamka. It's derived from the Arabic term Dimak, which means tears. It implies the hardship to endure during the struggle to establish Islam in Java. According to another historian, Sucipto Wiryo Suparato, it derived from a term in the Kawi language that means helum or a gift. Now that's about the Demak Sultanate. Now back to our topic of the day, which is the Majapahit. Welcome everyone. If you're new here, Nyai, it means miss. Thank you, Kamda, for that. Nyai means miss. Thank you for that. Now back to the topic, because we are looking at the Majapahit kingdom or Majapahit empire. This is 40 languages, 40 cultures in 40 days. Today is day 8. We are looking at the Majapahit. Now, established by Raden Wijaya in 1292, Majapahit Mongol invasion in Java and reached its peak during the era of the Queen Tribhuwana and her son Hayam Wuruk, whose reigns in the 14th century were marked by the conquest that extends throughout the Southeast Asia. Yo, that was incredible. Now, the achievement is also credited to the famous Prime Minister Gajah, according to the Nekarakrakama written in 1365. Majapahit was an empire of 98 tributaries, stretching from the Sumatra to New Guinea. New Guinea is in Africa somehow. Now, if they stretch as far as that, let me say if actually this is New Guinea in Africa, because I might be wrong by this one. New Guinea is the world's second largest island. Okay, it's something else. It has the largest remaining rainforest globally and the highest plant biodiversity of any island located in Melanesia, in the southwestern Pacific Ocean. The island is separated from Australia to, probably I was correct if I say Africa. Why do I feel like New Guinea belongs to Africa? Here's Mariswat. He's Mariswat. What's good? Mariswat, welcome back. Indonesia has own New Guinea. Okay, I understand. I think that this is what I'm about to read. So New Guinea it has the third largest remaining rainforest globally and the highest plant biodiversity of any island located in Melanesia in the southwestern Pacific Ocean. The island separated from the Australia by 150 kilometers, Torres Strait, though both land masses lie on the same continental shelf and were united during the episode of the low sea level in the Pleistocene glaciations as the combined landmass of Sahul. Numerous smaller islands are located to the west and east. The island's name was given by the Spanish explorer Inigo Ortiz de Retes during the maritime expedition of 1545 because of the perceived resemblance of the indigenous people of the island to those of the African region in Guinea. So these people had the resemblance of the people in Africa in the country named Guinea. Hence it was called the New Guinea by Ortiz. Inigo Ortiz de Retes. Now, the eastern half of the island is the major landmass of the nation of Papua New Guinea. The western half of the Western New Guinea forms a part of Indonesia and is organized as a provinces of Papua New Central or Papua Central, Highland Papua, South Papua, Southwest Papua, and also West Papua. The two major cities in the island were Port Moresby and Jayapura. Indonesia is okay. I've read that. Okay, back to the Majapahit. I wanted to see if this New Guinea they're mentioning here is the one in Africa or not the one in Africa. So as Gamda said, it's not the one in Africa, but it was actually named after the people of Guinea in Africa because of the resemblance. Now, Majapahit was an empire of 98 tributaries stretching from Sumatra to New Guinea, including territory in present-day Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, southern Thailand, Timor-Leste, and the southern Philippines. In particular, Sulu Archipelago. Although the scope of the Majapahit sphere of influence is still the subject of the debate amongst historians, the nature of Majapahit relations and influence upon its overseas vassals and also its status as an empire still provokes discussions today. Actually, I've spoken to one person from Indonesia. I asked her if she knew anything about the Majapahit. She didn't know much. She only knew the emperor. And then she sent me a link to a YouTube video which was actually recorded in a language that I cannot speak. So I had nothing to actually get from that video because it was a language from the region, from that region specifically. And I'm from South Africa. I speak isiZulu and a little bit of English. And I cannot speak the language from the Southeast Asia. Nature smiles in green disguise. Life survives because something else dies. Johnny is back with his unmatched poems. Now we will drop stanzas here and there of his poems, and right now he says, nature smiles in green disguise. Life survives because something else dies. And that's the cycle of life. Thank you, Johnny, for that. That's amazing, bro. Now, Majapahit was one of the last major Hindu-Buddhist emperors of the region and is considered to be one of the greatest and most powerful emperors in history of Indonesia and Southeast Asia. It's sometimes seen as the precedent for the Indonesian modern boundaries. Its influence extended beyond the modern territory of Indonesia and has been the subject of many studies. Somehow I heard that the Majapahit emperor has an influence in the Game of Thrones. If you look at the Mother of Dragons, I forgot what that kingdom was, but if you look at, I don't know if it's the Dragaro, I forgot, but the Mother of Dragon and his brother, if you look at that storyline, they say it has to do with the Majapahit emperor. So I'm not sure if that's truth or not, but if they say its influence extends beyond the modern territory of Indonesia and has been the subject of many studies, probably that's truth. Maybe that's truth, I don't know. Now the name Majapahit, sometimes also spelled as Majapahit, to reflect the Javanese pronunciation derived from the Javanese meaning Beta Maja. German Orientalist Berthold Laufer suggested that the Maja element comes from the Javanese name of Ayekli Mamelos, an Indonesian tree. Now, the Majapahit is also referred to by the Sanskrit-derived synonym Vilvaticta Sanskrit, romanicized Vilvaticta Beta or Beta Maja. The toponyms containing the word Maja are common in the area and in around Troulan or Mojokerto, as it is widespread practice in Java to name an area, a village, or a settlement with the most conspicuous or abundant tree or fruit species found in that region. In the 16th century, Chronicle Paranaton records the legend linked to the establishment of a new settlement in the forest of Trik by Raden Wijaya in 1292. Now, it was said that the workers clearing the Trik forest encountered some major trees and consumed their bitter tasting fruit, which gave its name to the village. Breaking news: Bangladesh refused to travel to India for the World Cup. What was the reason, Johnny? What was the reason? Now let's check the historiography of the Majapahit. Compared to the contemporary societies elsewhere in Asia, little physical evidence of Majapahit remains. Majapahit did produce physical evidence to the main ruins dating from the Majapahit period of the clustered in the Troulan area, which was the royal capital of the kingdom. The area has become the center of the study of Majapahit history. The Troulan archaeological site was first documented in the 19th century by Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles, Lieutenant Governor, British Java of the East India Company from 1811 to 1816. He reported the existence of ruins of temples scattered about country for many miles and referred to Troulan as the pride of Java. Aerial satellite imagery has revealed an extensive network of canals crisscrossing the Majapahit capital. Findings from April 2011 indicate that the Majapahit capital was much larger than previously believed after some artifacts were uncovered. Now that's impressive. Actually, I need to go somehow to Indonesia and see this fruit and also the stretch of this long-lost emperor. Probably we will find some indigenous people who actually derive from the same emperor, and actually it would be nice to talk to those people who has their roots traced back to the empire. Now, inscriptions. It's a bad fruit, man. I hope you've heard it, bro. They said it's sour, it's bitter, but I think for the sake of history and the understanding of the name of the entire Majapahit emperor, I think it's worth it. It's worth a try, bro. It's maybe bitter or sweet, but for the sake of the kingdom that was named after it, it's worth a try. I would really, really want to try it. It wasn't worth it. Where did you get it, bro? Where did you get it from? The Majapahit dynasty is described in royal inscriptions such as Kudati. Devon City is winning. I'm supposed to be watching that game, but it is what it is. I need to actually focus on this, what I'm doing right now. Now, Majapahit dynasty is described in the royal inscription such as Kudati, issued in 1294, Sukameta 1296, Tuanyaru 1323, Gachamada 1351, Warrening P2 1447, and Trailukyapuri in 1486. These sources help us to clarify the family relationship and the chronologies of the Majapahit rulers, as well as to correct the certain errors found in the Pararaton. A few inscriptions found on Java, such as the Pura Abangsi inscription discovered in northern Bali, offer conclusive evidence that these areas were under the Majapahit control during the 14th century. Hey, John, that stanza is so cool. Yeah, it is. I think Johnny is with his poems. Just that he just hit us with a stanza here and there once in a while, but while we're enjoying his stanzas, he then disappears. That's how Johnny moves. He's so, what's the word? I'm looking for a word that actually describes the activities of Johnny. Conspicuous is the word? I don't know. Hey, John, I've read that. Now, the chronicles. The two important chronicle sources are available to historians of Majapahit. The Savanana description of district was composed in 1365, and the Pararaton, the monarchs, was compiled sometimes between 1481 and 1600. Both of these chronicles survived as 19th century to call me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just decided to actually call me and disturb everything that I'm doing here. So I don't appreciate it. Really, I don't. Because I'm busy here. Okay, she didn't know I was busy. I forgive her. Fatal, John seems to be your friend. Yeah, John has been with us. John has been with Fatima Ali. John has been with us since day one. We were on 51 subscribers. So he's been with us. Now we are on 407 subscribers. It's been 6 months since we've been with Johnny. So he always come in and just throw these stanzas, beautiful stanzas, and then disappears. Probably come back 2 weeks later with a new stanza and then bless us with that, and then disappear again. But he's a diehard fan of cricket. If you speak about cricket, you speak about Johnny. Now he knows everything when it comes to cricket. That's what I like about him, because he always brings fresh news of cricket and other things related to that, and then his poems. So he's been with us for a while now. That's Johnny. Now, let's continue. The Majapahit Golden Age under the reign of Hayam Uruk, after which some events are covered narratively composed by the Mpu Prapanka. It provides a primary historical account of the Majapahit court during the reign of King History. What am I saying? During the reign of King Hayam Uruk, as well as a detailed information about the Eastern or the East Javanese country and the summary of Singasari history. Now, the Pararaton focuses on the Ken Arok, the founder of the Singarasi, but includes a number of shorter narrative fragments about the formation of the Majapahit. Yeah, bro, you've been with us from day one, bro. You are one of the legends here, so we appreciate you very much, Johnny. Now, the Javanese sources incorporate some poetic mythological elements into their history accounts. This complexity has led to a variety of interceptions approaches. Cornelis Christenberg, a Dutch historian, has considered the entire historical record to be not a record of the past, but a supernatural means by which the future can be determined. Oh, most scholars do not accept his view, as the historical record corresponds in part of the Chinese material that could not have had the similar intention. Difference to the rulers and the details of the state structure shows no sign of being invented. Now, a little bit about the Chinese sources as far as that is concerned. Love you too, Temba Bavuma. I mean, Sipo. Now, I think, Fatima, you see what I mean, that John actually has been around here. Is dying to speak to me right now. And she's actually messing all the stream up. There's actually the mother of my son is actually calling me. I think it's for the second time now, so that's actually intercept the stream. But I'll get back to her. I was with her all day long. That's why I didn't stream around 12 during the midday, because I was with her. I think I'll call her after I'm done here. But she's actually messing up the stream. Well, I forgive her. She doesn't know that I'm streaming right now, so maybe that's why she's actually calling. I apologize on her behalf to you all, because it's continue actually messing up our stream. But I forgive her. She doesn't know that I'm streaming right now. Light B, what's good, my man? What's good? Welcome to the stream. If you're new to the stream, everybody, if you're new to the stream, smash it up. This 40 languages, 40 cultures, and 40 days today. It's day 8. We are dealing with the Majapahit Kingdom. Now, we're looking at the history currently, the Mongol invasion of the Majapahit. Now, by the time that the Yuan army returned to Java to exact their revenge, however, King Katanagara was already dead. He had been killed by the Jayakanatwang, the Adipali or Duke of the kingdom of Kediri, a vassal state of Singasari. Meanwhile, King Katanekasara's son-in-law, Raden Wijaya, had been pardoned by the usurper king Jayakatwang with the aid of the Arya Wiraraja, the regent of Madura. Now, and was given the timberland of Trueland as a consolation. Raden Wijaya built a new settlement there, naming the village the Majapahit after a type of a fruit maja growing there that had been bitter taste, pahit. Thus, when the Yuan army arrived, Raden Wijaya allied himself with them to fight against the king Jayakatwang. Once the king Jayakatwang had been defeated, Raden Wijaya launched a surprise attack and turn against his former Yuan allies. The Yuan armies was forced to actually withdraw in confusion as they were in the hostile territory and their ships were constantly being attacked. It was also their last chance to catch the monsoon wind home. Otherwise, they would have had to wait for another 6 months. So this nigga was sneaky. Wijaya was sneaky. Come to say he was smart as F. I'd say he was sneaky, bro. What he did there, that was some sneaky stuff, bro. But anyway, that's how he actually built this kingdom. So shout out to him. I think that's how you use your mind, basically, when you want to form kingdom. Sometimes you don't need to fight like fight. You need to actually trigger or to trick both your enemies and see them fight. And once you see that they are now at the verge of defeat, then you hit them with a surprise attack. I think that is what we call smart in the terms of war, but it was sneaky as hell. Raden Wijaya was smart as. Okay, the first king of the Ketarajasa, Jayawardhara, in 1293. Why am I saying 19? Such a snake. Yeah, there's some snake stuff, bro. Now, in 1293, Raden Wijaya founded a stronghold with the capital Majapahit. The exact date used to be the birth of the Majapahit kingdom as the day of the coronation, the 15th day of the month of the Kartika in the year of 1215. The Javanese Saga era, which equates to the 10th of November 1293, during the coronation, he was given the regnal name Ketarajasa Jayawardhana. Ketarajasa Jawanazana. The king Ketarajasana took the remaining 3 daughters of his dead father-in-law, King Ketanegara, as his wives. With his first wife, Tripuwaneshwari, being the prime queen consort, and his 3 sisters as concubines. The Pranaparamita, Nerendura Duhita, and the youngest, Gayatri Rajapatni. According to the Pararaton Book of Kings, he also had a princess named Tarapetak, the Dhamma Sraya, the capital of the Sumatran Malayu kingdom. Now this bro, okay, Fatima says, who gave you this name Themba Bavuma? Because you look so much like him. Fatima, it's Johnny and the gangs here. So Johnny Kamda, who am I forgetting? I've never seen these guys for a long time. So and his brother, and there's a lot of people that we no longer see here. Makubele, they all actually ganged up on me and said I look like a Themba Bavuma. So shout out to Themba Bavuma. And you also see the same thing that they saw. I don't know why. Maybe I need to change my profile picture and put Themba Bavuma there and see if you recognize whether it's me or not me. Now, still on history. Ketarajasa Wijaya was succeeded by his heir, Jayanegara. The reign of Jayanegara then, where Gajabiru's rebellion, okay, the reign of Jayanegara was difficult and chaotic one, troubled with several rebellions by his father's former companions in army. Among them was Gajapuru's rebellion in 1314, semi-rebellion in 1318, and the Kutu rebellion in 1319. The Kutu rebellion was the most dangerous one, as Kutu managed to take control of the capital city with the help of Gajamada and his Payangara palace guards. Now, the Jayanegara barely escaped from the capital and safely hid in the valley of the Bedanda. While the king was in hiding, Gajamada returned to the capital city to assess the situation, and after that Kudi rebellion was supported neither by the common people nor by the noble Majapahit court, he raised resistance forces to crush the Kuti rebellion. Gotta get going now. Bye. See you later. Temba. Sorry, I mean Sibo. Okay. Shout out, Johnny. Shout out. Thank you for the stanza, bro. Thank you. That was actually awesome. We will see you later, bro. Have a nice one. Wow, the details. We gotta get to details, bro. It's amazing what we're learning from the Majapahit here. And actually the rebellious people that were actually there to test the kingdom. It's amazing. Some actually support the rebellion, and when they see that the majority of the people doesn't support the rebellion, they turn again and crush the rebellion, the rebellious people. So there were so many sneaky stuff that were happening as far as the Majapahit kingdom is concerned. Now, with the help of Gajamada and his Payangara guard, Jayanegara barely escaped. Okay, we've covered that. After Kuti forces were defeated, Jayanegara safely returned to his throne for his loyalty and excellent service. Gajamada was promoted to high office to begin his career in the court politics. Do you remember the Game of Thrones? And there was this guy who had, what's the name of that guy? There was this guy who had a form of a strip club, but what do you call that in ancient language? I don't know what you call it. But this sounds like what that brute did. He cahooted with the rebellion, and then when you see that the people doesn't support it, he defeated it, and then he was promoted. I'm from South Africa, Fatima. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa. Okay. This is 40 languages, 40 cultures in 40 days. Today is day 8. We are dealing with the Majapahit Empire. If you're new to this channel, please smash that up. And also check out our content. We usually do sports analysis based particularly in South African Betway Premiership. We do game analysis on that league and also a little bit of this and that here and there. According to the tradition, King Jayanegara safely returned to his throne for his royalty excellence, and Gajamada was promoted to the High Court or to High Office to begin his career in royal court politics. Now, according to the tradition, King Jayanegara was notorious for his immorality. One of his distasteful acts was his desire to take his half-sister, Gitaja, and Rajadewi as wives. Since Japanese tradition abhorred the practice of half-siblings marrying, the Council of Royal Elders spoke strongly against the king's wishes. It was not clear what motivated Jayanegara's wish. It might have been the way to ensure his claim to the throne by preventing rivals from being his half-sisters' suitors. Although in the later period of the Majapahit court, the custom of marriage among the cousins was quite common. In the Pararaton or the Book of Kings, he was known as the Kala Gemet or the weak villain. Around the time of Jayanegara's reign in the early 14th century, the Italian friar Odoric of Pordenone visited the Majapahit court in Java, noting that it was well populated and filled with cloves, nutmeg, and many other spices. He also mentioned that the king of Java had several vassals under him and engaged in several wars with the Khan of Cathay. Now, in 1328, King Jayanekra was murdered by his physician. Whoa. There are so many sneaky stuff that are happening with Majapahit Emperor. Now, King Jayanekra was murdered by his physician, Tanka, during the surgical operation. In complete mayhem and rage, Gajamada immediately killed Tanka. Now, the motive behind the regicide was never clear. According to the Pararaton, it was Tanka's revenge for the king sexual abusing his wife. Whoa. However, according to the Balinese manuscript Babad Dalem, the assassination was a stratagem crafted by the Gajamada himself to rid the king of an evil tyrant. Tradition mentions that the immoral, cruel, and abusive king often seduced and abused women, even the wives of his own subordinate. This nigger. Other possible reasons include to protect the two princesses, King Jayanekra's half-sisters, Daya Kitaja and the Rajadewi Maharajasa, the daughters of his stepmother, Queen Gayatri Rajapatni, from the Jayanekras' cruelty. Since the slaying of the king was childless, he left no successor. Now, we know that this bro, Gajamada, has been actually attempting to actually usurp the throne for himself. Now that the king is dead and his physician is dead, let's see what's going to happen. Because Gajamada is some sneaky bro in the kingdom. He's one of those sneaky bros in the kingdom. Now, King Jayanekra's stepmama, Queen Consort Majapahit Gayatri Rajapatni, the most revered matriarch of the court, was set to ascend the throne. However, the Rajapati had retired from worldly affairs to become a Buddhist nun. And instead of appointing her daughter, Tripuwana Wijayatungao Dayakitaja, to be the queen under her auspices, under the formal regal name, the Tripuwano Tugadewi Jayawishnuwadani, she appointed Gajamada. I told you that this nigga was sneaky from the beginning, and he always wanted the throne for himself as her Majapahit Prime Minister. In 1336, during the inauguration of the Majapahit, Gajamada made his famous Palapa oath, declaring that he would not enjoy the moments of rest until he unified the archipelago under the Majapahit rule. During the Queen's Tripuwana's rule, Majapahit territory greatly expanded, and under the initiative of her able and ambitious Prime Minister Gajamada, Majapahit sent its armada to conquer the neighboring island Bali. According to the Babad Arya Tapanan manuscript, in 1342, Majapahit forces led by Gajamada and assisted by the General Arya Dama, the regent of Palembang, landed in the Bali kingdom. After the 7th month of battle, Majapahit defeated the Balinese kingdom and captured the Balinese capital of Bedulu in 1343. After the conquest of the Bali, Majapahit distributed the governing authority of Bali among the General Arya Dami younger brother, Arya Kansek, Arya Kutawandira, Arya Sentong, Arya Belong, Arya Kinseng led his brothers to govern Bali under the Majapahit suzerainty, and he would become the progenitor of the Balinese king of the Tebanan and the Badung royal houses. Though his campaign, Majapahit planted a vassal dynasty that will rule Bali kingdom in the following countries. Now, Queen Tripuwana ruled the Majapahit until the death of her mother, Queen Consort Gayatri Rajapatni, in 1350. Why is this thing not moving? Why am I stuck now? Oh, here we go. Now, Queen Tribhuwana ruled the Majapahit until the death of her mother, Queen Consort Gayatri Rajapatni, in 1350, whereupon Tribhuwana abdicated the throne in favor of her son Hayam Vuruk. Maghrebi explorer Ibn Battuta visited the island during his travel in 1332 and 1347, noting that he stopped by a place called Mul Jawa, the island of Java, as opposed to the Al Jawa, which referred to the Sumatra. He noted that the empire took 2 months to travel and ruled over a walled city called Kabula or Kakula, and a place called Kamaha or Kamara. I'm reading South African ways. Upon arriving in Kapula or Kapula, Ibn Battuta observed that the city had war junks for pirate raiding and collect tolls, and that elephants were employed for various purposes. He met the ruler Mul Jawa and stayed as a guest for 3 days. In the Ibn Battuta said that the women of Java rode horses, understood each other, and found like men. He also recorded a story about a country called Tawalisi, also thought by some scholars to be Java. Now, to be Java, whose king opposed the emperor of Yuan dynasty in China. Now, if this guy opposes the emperor of Yuan dynasty in China, he waged war with the Chinese using the numerous junks until they come to terms with him on certain conditions. Now, this nigga was ambitious. What was a Yuan dynasty? We found out that it's from China, but in which period did the Yuan dynasty existed? Yuan dynasty, officially known as the Great Yuan. I wonder if the currency of China is actually named after this kingdom. Is it Yuan? I think it's Yuan, the currency of China, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the Yuan dynasty, officially the Great Yuan, was a Mongol-led imperial dynasty of China and a successor state of the Mongol Empire after its division. It was established by the Klubai Emperor Shizu or Sesten Khan, the fifth Khagan emperor of the Mongol Empire, from the Bokhijin clan, and lasted from 1271 to 1368 AD. And we really want to check this out. In Chinese history, the Yuan dynasty followed the Song dynasty and preceded the Ming dynasty. So I know about the Song dynasty, I know about the Ming dynasty, I know about the Tang dynasty, I know about the Qing dynasty. I remember a little about the Yellow Empire, but we'll go to China and actually list all the emperors from the beginning to the government that we have today. So tomorrow we need to do the Yuan dynasty. I will put this. I'll actually have to pin this up to make sure that we actually check it out. What's happening now? Gamda saying, Gajamada only has one goal after the Palapa oath. That brew wanted the throne for himself. He was so ambitious. But I love his spirit though. I love his spirit. It shows that the sneaky stuff is way old. It's been there for centuries. And niggas usurp thrones and emperors through some sneaky stuff. They just use their mind and confuse even their own people, not only the enemies, but even their own people, just to usurp the throne and have all the women for themselves. I hate the fact that I'm drinking Coca-Cola. Okay, we continue. where we was. Somehow I lost. Somehow I lost everything here. Because of checking that's Chinese emperor. That ambition united Indonesia. Yeah, bro, we leave aside how this bro was thinking, but his ambition, it led to what we have today. So kudos to him. Kudos to him. Kudos to him. And shout out to the Indonesian people. Shout out to them. They have a beautiful history. There's a lot to study here. And I wonder, I need to check if there are any series films that are based off of the Majapahit emperor, because this is just such a beautiful emperor. Leave the fact that I found out that the Game of Thrones somehow had something to do with the Majapahit emperor, but I would really love to see if there was anything else rather than the Game of Thrones. Kediri City. What was Kediri City, bro? Somehow my system here is stuck somehow. I don't know what really happened. Okay, my computer is stuck. I don't know what's going on here. Somehow. What's Kediri City, bro? Now I should stop using Mozilla Firefox. This thing can be stupid at times. Because I'm working here and this thing just stuck and everything just froze. And I haven't even finished my presentation. I was having so much fun with the Majapahit emperor and this thing just froze. Okay, let me reboot this thing and actually come back to it because I wasn't finished. There was a lot that we haven't covered as far as the Majapahit emperor is concerned, and I'm having a lot of fun learning about this. This actually makes me want to go to Indonesia one day. It's the Indonesia, it's the Incasa in Peru, South America. These two have actually really piqued my interest, and I wanna go see where they used to be. Mojokerto is the capital of Majapahit. Thanks for the knowledge, bro. Thanks for the Gamda is always bringing some knowledge. Gamda is always bringing some knowledge. Sekauchile, what's good? Sekauchile, welcome back. It's been a minute since I've seen you. I hope you're good, bro. I hope you're good. Mohammed Zabir Wahab. What's good? You from Somalia or Uganda, bro? I'm from South Africa, bro. I'm from South Africa, KwaZulu Natal. I speak isiZulu. Sawubona, Mohammed. Wait, you know person in Indonesia? Yeah, I have somebody from Indonesia in my WhatsApp contact. She texted me a WhatsApp message the other day, And I've texted her today and asked her about Indonesia. If she knew anything about the Majapahit. She said she was a female, I'm not sure, but she said she was a female. But I'm not sure if she is indeed. Actually, when I asked her if she knew about anything about the Majapahit, she said they studied about it on the elementary classes and that's it. So I was quite disappointed because I thought since she's an Indonesian, there was something that I was actually going to learn from that. Do you know who that is, Gamza? So I thought that was kind of messed up that they only learned about it on elementary school, elementary classes. So probably because I was speaking to a woman, if I can find a probably, not that I'm dissing women, but women usually don't care about history stuff and everything. Maybe if I was speaking to a man, he would have probably known about a thing or two regarding the Majapahit. $245 million people in Indonesia. So many people. Yo, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. That's about 7, 14, 21. That's about 3 times the size of South Africa. We in South Africa, we're somewhere about 70 to 90 million people, including the foreign nationals. But if there's about 250 million, that's a lot of people. Yeah, that's what she said, Kamda. That's what she said. That's what she said. And she also sent me a link of a YouTube channel. But the language that was spoken on the channel was a language I didn't understand. Bra, Majapahit is historic empire, bra, educate yourself. Muhammad Zibi Ruaba. Oh, you also know about the Majapahit. I'm impressed with this. Everybody who comes to this chat. That's why I said I will name everyone here. We will call ourselves the intelligent ones. We will find a language that we all love and find a name that means intelligent and then name ourselves that name. So when we come to stream, we know that we belong to that. It's our little empire, the intelligent ones, but on other language. I don't know which language we will choose, but we need to find a name, a language that will give us the intelligence, and then we name ourselves with that, because all you all are smart and intelligent and knowledgeable, and it always surprises me all the time. Yeah, bro, they ruled Indonesia before Portuguese came. Where are you from, Mohammed? Where are you from? Where are you from, Mohammed? You sound like you're from that region, somehow. India, sir. Okay. I understand. I think India has a lot of influence to the Indonesian people, to the language of Sanskrit. The language of Sanskrit has been prominent in the past, and it has given birth to so many languages that are spoken in South of Asia and Asia itself, India included, and a little bit of the Eastern Europe and Northern Africa. So shout out to Sanskrit. I was very, very disappointed to find out that the Sanskrit is no longer as prominent as it was in the past. But I was hoping that I'd find people who actually really speak Sanskrit in India. Hopefully when we get there in India in the future, we will... Another call again. So somebody keeps calling me here, so... Okay, are we back? We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, we're almost there. A little bit of patience here. Gamda, who you speaking about? The person who's calling me, or the person I asked about the Majapahit? Who are you asking about? Okay, I thought we were somewhere making progress, but we are not making any progress here. We definitely not making any progress. The person I talked to, she said she's in East Java or something. East Java or something. I think she gave me a detailed stuff as far as where she stays. But I think it's East Java, which made me actually about the Majapahit. Okay, let me use another. Yes, in Indonesia. She said she was an Indonesian. Yeah, it's too far, bro. And also I was like, whoa, too much information for a stranger. But it's life, bro. It's life. Some things will surprise you. But yeah, my thoughts exactly. But she's actually one of the people who usually come to the streams. It's just that I couldn't recognize her. But she somehow gotten my number from this channel, because if you check this channel, if you scroll down there when you're checking what this channel is about, there are some of my contact details. I guess she took my number from there and decided to text me. Okay, the problem here, I cannot resolve this thing now. It's taking the eternity to actually get fixed. I don't know why, but I'm gonna give it one last try. I'm gonna give it one last try and see what happens. I think that's what I'm thinking about at Gamda. I'm gonna try it one more time, but actually there's too much space now in between what I've been talking about till this far. Probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this thing and call this person who's been actually calling me, because I think those calls are actually played a huge part in actually the problems that I'm experiencing right now. So let me get past that and come back with part 2, because this is very, very fun. It's a lot of information that I didn't know about. So let me cut this off. What time is it now? It's 7 o'clock. I'll come back 7:30 with part 2. Okay, thank you everyone. It's me, your host, Point of One Sports, on the net, the Black Italian himself. A pronto, Pia Seri. I will see you in next 30 minutes.